to be glued to a person. Now tell me, if you glue two papers together, is it easy to separate them? If you do, what happens? Huh? Is it no wonder then when you go to the book of Malachi, and I think you know, I'm just running through these things because my assumption is that we know. You go to the book of Malachi, is it chapter 2 or chapter 3? Where he says God hates divorce. Come on now, you are Bible people. What chapter is that? Hello? I've given you a leakage. It's Malachi chapter what? Verse what? Huh? Can someone read it for us? I thought these are very familiar things. Anyone who has it? Verse 16, yes. What does it say?
Malachi 2 verse 16. For the Lord God of Israel says that he hates divorce, for it covers one's garment with violence, says the Lord of hosts.
Okay. The Lord God says he hates what? Why does he hate divorce? Because the people who are involved in divorce are actually criminals.
Which one? Both of them.
What do you call violence? Is it not criminality? Huh? Hello? Now I'm not going to dwell on this because I don't want to offend any, but I'm just laying the background. Okay? So God says, I hate divorce because it's criminality. It's being, you cover yourself, you cover other people with blood. And that's why he would go in the book of Matthew, he says, why? It's because the God who made them as husband and what? And wife. And therefore, whatever God has put together, let no man do what? Put asunder. And then someone will say, well, but what if? Huh? But what if? Now, that's where a contract comes in. A contract, there's a what if, but a covenant, there's no what if. Now, did we read Isaiah? Can someone read that for us? And I think we'll stop there on the issue of marriage, and then we'll go to what we want to do today. Isaiah 54 verse 5.
Isaiah 54 verse 5. For thy maker is thine husband. The Lord of hosts is his name. And thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, the God of the whole earth, shall he be called.
Okay, so it says, as a symbolic relationship, it says, you as a church, the Holy One, your maker, God, is your what? Your husband. Now, if I would say it in a loose way, in this marriage that we have between us and God, there is no divorce. Have you noticed that? No matter what we do, no matter how we run away from God, he does not divorce us. Now, if God was going to be divorcing us, how many times would we have divorced you? All that God would do sometimes is to separate. Send us sometimes out, and then when we reconcile, he comes back, and again we reconnect. There is no divorce. Until death do us what? Part. So that is the science of the spiritual marriage that we have, it is both a covenant and also symbolic of the relationship that we have with God. And that's what it's supposed to represent. Now, such an institution is not easy. And I think for us who are old, as we counsel the young ones, let's show them what it is so that they make right decisions. Unfortunately, especially the young people, they are just, pushed by infatuation, and they get into a relationship that they don't even understand. And I normally tell people that if you made a mistake in the first place, to get in a relationship that you don't know, stay with that mistake. You didn't hear what I said. What did I say? If you made a mistake to get in what? A relationship, there is no divorce here. Stay in it. Find ways to go around it until death do us part. You die. That's what you chose. What did I say about grace? Yes.
Should one die in an abusive marriage because she or he made a mistake? What if she or he dies in there? Because I'm talking out of the things that I've seen. I've seen people dying in an abusive marriages. Some which were also part of my family. So, as a pastor, how do you handle that?
They have died for their love.
Come on. There's no love there. Beating each other daily. No love.
But when they got into it, how did they get into it?
They didn't know how it would end. No one knows about tomorrow after.
All right. Sorry. Anyway, that's why I don't want to go in the subject of marriage. I was just passing through that road. This is the subject that doesn't end well. And it has only a beginning, it has no end. Yeah. But what I was saying is, you who are old, when you counsel people, please, you tell them the reality of what they are getting into. Did you hear me? I said many young people, they just jump into this thing without even understanding what they are doing. Are we together? And you know what? Even the Bible says, there is something that is so surprising. The way of a young person, the way of a young man to a woman. Just like you cannot trace that there was a snake that passed on a rock. Sometimes when people think that they are in love, they are uncontrollable. You try to tell them this road you are moving is dangerous. They say, we'll see. We will cross the bridge when we get there. And now when they find a bridge they can't cross, they want to go back. And you find that the road behind you is already cut. So where do you go? So, what I can only say for us is that please, you know what? Young people, I think for you people who are old, and if you have been in a relationship, if you have been in marriage, it is not all God there. Are we together? Sometimes I was writing something and I made a definition. I said, marriage is like a wedding, celebration. The people that are inside, it's hot inside there, where they are enjoying. There's music and there's enjoyment. But they want to get out and get some fresh air outside. But those that are outside, because of what they hear inside, they want to do what? So I think the church should take time to really explain these issues. Are we together? I just said, in a secular world, it is a contract. Okay? And I'm going to pass through some of these things. The understanding is you get in there, if things don't move, then you come out. But as children of God, let's understand that marriage is actually a covenant with a symbolic relationship between the church and who? And I simply said, if God was going to be divorcing us every time we make a mistake, how many times would he have divorced us? So are you saying God, when he sees that the relationship with you is not working, he should move out? You are shaking your head again. Okay. Now, it is difficult. We don't have answers to that, but Jesus was asked. But Moses told us, if things don't work out, we just write a what? A divorce letter. And God answered. What did Jesus answer to that? Huh? Haven't you read that he who made them male and therefore, what was the last part? What God has put together, let no man
put asunder.
That was the answer. You think that was easy? It was not an easy one. Anyway, we don't have time to expound that. But what I'm simply saying is the principle about marriage spiritually is that it should be a lasting, life-lasting what? Relationship. And they said, but Moses said, he said, because of the hardness of your, was he giving permission? No. He simply said, if Moses allowed you, he did it because you are hard-hearted. Not that that's how it's supposed to be. So he's not giving any sanction for divorce. Now, please, that's not where we are going. I'm just saying this is the background of what we call family life and what we will think we are going to have. So there's the principle in this kind of relationship that will bring a family. There's elements of living. We need to have courage to leave all, parents, relatives, friends, financially, socially, psychologically. We need to be detached from everything that attached us to themselves. And be attached to this one. And I want to say that if husband and wife are not attached by these principles, that relationship will not work. Yeah? Then there's the aspect of cleaving. No one allowed in between. Okay? No one is allowed in between. This aspect of saying, especially our mothers, I'm sorry to say that, especially our mothers, even if when they get in a relationship, and now maybe let me say this, even our fathers, when they get in a relationship, there still is an allowance that is left, that if things will not work out, I'll do what? I'll leave. And you know, the moment you leave that allowance, that relationship will not work. You need to come to a point where you are decided that no matter what happens, I'm going to stay here. And if your friend knows that you have come to stay, they will not even attempt to suggest that you leave. I had an uncle, he misbehaved and secretly wrote a letter and he gave to our aunt and he said, you go to your parents and visit. Here is a letter for my in-laws. Meanwhile, the letter was... But our aunt was so determined to know what was in the letter. She had taken long without going to see the parents. And so when the husband left, she read the letter. Don't ask me whether that was right or wrong. I don't know. But she read the letter and found that it was a divorce letter. And so she unpacked. And left everything. And when the husband walked in, he said, but what's happening? He said, no, don't worry. I will go later. Yeah, I thought I need to take care of one or two things. I will go. Don't worry about me. Prepared a nice meal, no quarreling, no what. And gave the husband, after the husband was full and relaxing, then the lady brought the letter and said, I found this. Is it you who wrote this? And there was silence. And that was the end of the story. So the lady said, you see, my husband, when you married me, you made a mistake. The moment you detached me from my mother, you made a mistake. I'm here to stay, whether you like it or not. This is not even, I'm not even asking you. I'm just telling you. That if you think you made a mistake, you live with it. I'm going nowhere. I'm here to stay. And I'm even telling you now, if you are not satisfied with me, you want to bring another woman, I don't care whether you bring 10, bring them. Don't take them somewhere else, bring them here. We'll stay together. But moving, I'm going nowhere. And that was good advice for the husband. He never dared again. He became a disciplined young man. And they stayed together until the man died. Now, if you tell me I can easily push you, I will push you. Huh? All right. You know, please don't leave an allowance for your friend to be tempted to remove you. Are you together? Huh? Surely, after spoiling the market, you want to go. Where are you going? Huh? No. Stay. If that man made a mistake, let him face the mistake he made. Now, if you give them assurance that anyway, me, I can go. And sometimes some people say, no, I'll find the better ones. My friend, the best is me. Because if there were better ones, why didn't they? Huh? No, don't give those allowances. Don't give those allowances. Okay? Now, the challenge with marriage is, some scholars say it goes through stages, isn't it? And they are saying there are 4 stages of marriage, and these are problematic. If we don't handle them carefully, they will destroy the family. The first stage in marriage, which starts from the courtship and all that, is what is called the romantic stage. Romantic stage. And the romantic stage spoils the soup because many times you start establishing a wrong relationship. What is romantic stage? Maybe first year up to 5 years somewhere. For those that are lucky, others is just 1 year. The romance will stop, depending on how you started things. Okay? But in the romantic stage, this is where everything else is green. You remember? You remember those years we couldn't eat without him around? Huh? Okay, even when he's coughing, you come running. Did you call me? You know what I'm talking about, don't you? Yeah. Yeah. Every marriage has gone through that. Every relationship has gone through that. Now, and I think those are the things, if we forget those things that made us to run. You wake up in the night, you look at your friend, and you are saying, is it me? Yeah, those were good times. And you need to remember what moved you. What was it that was so attractive? Don't forget those things. I still tell my wife, she knows. I said this. Romantic stages, unfortunately, in romantic stage, that's where when you, what am I doing now? You see, I'm slowly drifting into marriage. This is not where I wanted to go. Okay, let me just finish with this one. Unfortunately, this is where when your friend makes a mistake, you easily forget, you ignore. Okay? She tries to cook in Shima and makes very bad in Shima. We call it munya in our language. And you just eat, elder. And someone may be saying, I'm sorry, the charcoal wasn't, don't worry, don't worry. The thing is nice. You see, those don't kid yourself. Even in a romantic stage, when things are not right, find a romantic way of expressing yourself that this thing is not right. Are we together? Because if you get used to wrong things, the moment you come back and now start saying, no, this is not right, they will think you have found a solution. Are we together? You say, but what went wrong? Yesterday I did the same, you were comfortable with it. Okay. So romance doesn't mean, some people say that love is blind. No, love is not what? It's the people who go in love who are blind. It's people who go in that are blind. And then this is where you build castles. Mistakes are overlooked. All is beauty. And then even when all the things, I don't know how long it will take, you get into another stage, we call it reality stage. Okay, romantic stage, when you get to reality stage. In life, things don't just move a straight line. Are we together? Yeah, this is where now the gold starts turning into base metal. The angel that you knew becomes the devil. Sweet honey becomes bitter honey. You know those moments? Reality means life now. If your spouse or your wife used to do A, B, C, D. Let me say maybe the reality of children comes in. She doesn't have enough time again, all the time to spend on you, and she starts dividing her time to children and you. Okay? But then you'll be still pleading for her to give you 100%. Okay? This is where you say, can I have some water? And then you say, hey, Chanda, bring your dad a cup of water. And then you say, what has gone wrong? I said, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, when your husband says, bring me water, it's not just water. They want you to come close so that they can have board view. But then you are sending someone else to come. That's where we make mistakes. If someone says, bring me a cup of water, they are saying, come close. Sometimes there is symbolic language that goes on there. But then you are going to send your boys and your girls to bring water. And you end up finding that the cup of water that they called for is still on the table. And then you are saying, but you wanted water. Why are you not drinking the water? No, my friend. Now I'm saying when reality dawns, please, this is time for us to find amicable ways to discuss issues. Okay? Remember, you were born in Lusaka, the other one was born in Chingola. Are you the same? Your culture and tradition are different. Some of you are this tribe and you marry another one from the other tribe. You want to always be the same? No. Cultural values also may differ. And also your experience of life may be different. And when the realities come to dawn, the infatuation or the romantic stage is winning away, you don't have time to sit down and say, okay, what is wrong? And by the way, in the Greek culture, there's nothing like this is her problem. It is our problem. I hope I could come to that because of what they believed. Because of what they believe, I hope I can come to that. But I think I'll pass a long route. I'll pass a long route, so I may not come to that. Let me just check and see what we can do. Okay. The other one that I wanted to say is when you come to reality and you start seeing that actually what you didn't know about your friend is showing up, just remember that now this is the real person. Did you hear what I said? This is the real what? Because why? And this is what I tell young people, and I'm asking that we can tell young people. Sometimes because of this fast tracking of relationships, you know, I'm saying us, we are old. We tell our young people that we need you slow down. This fast tracking kind of thing, it will not help, because the moment you say I love you to someone, do you know what you have done? You have literally told them to play a game of hide and seek. I don't know whether you are with me. You know what? The moment you told, and I think I have some witnesses here, the moment your friend learned that there was something that is happening between you and them, there are things that they hid that you only know after you are married. Now, this is where the question that I ask people who come for marriage counseling, I say, I make them actually to write some kind of an essay. I tell them, can you tell me, list it down, the facts you have that tells you that this person is well known to you. Tell me, how well do you know this person? And then they write. And after they have written a lot of stuff, I say, I still come back with the question, do you know this person? Very frustrating. Do you remember Jesus Christ talking to Peter? Peter, do you love me? He said, yes. And then after some time he said, Peter, do you love me? And then he says, yes. And then he said, do you love me? What was Jesus Christ trying to do? Huh? Yes. Are you sure about this answer? You know, many times we think we know people when we don't actually know them. Because you learn that after you are married for 5 years, you are still learning about your friend. There are still new things that you need to know. And it's not wrong because we are different kind of what? We are different to each other. Okay? We will still, now when God said the two shall become one, it doesn't mean it happens in a day. No, it doesn't. How long did it take God to deal with the children of Israel from Egypt to Canaan? Almost at the border, they want to cross in, and then God learns, these guys, they are not yet ready. Go back 40 years. You know? He wanted to deal with them so that they can come to a point where they understand one another. It took long. It took long. But I can tell you, when you have lived with each other for a long time and you are almost coming to understanding one another, marriage is the sweetest relationship you can have. You are no longer husband and wife. You are just brother and what? And sister. You are friends. The closest friend. When your husband becomes your friend and your wife becomes your friend, then you will start enjoying marriage. I know there are old people here who understand what I'm talking about. When you are just 5 years, you are still learning. But when you have gone through issues, you have been tested and tried. Even the devil now knows these guys I cannot separate. That's why I used to see my old father. He would go in the village. They give him something which looks like useless. He will come with that piece of thing and bring it to the old woman and say, hey, can you eat this? A piece of cassava, they will be eating. This one eats part, and then the old man also. But you came with it. Why didn't you eat it? Where? You just feel like you can't do anything without that person around you. Yeah, it becomes sweet, it becomes good. Now, there's what is called resentment stage. Resentment stage is when these realities come and then you are failing to solve issues. You come to a point where you feel that being home, being with this friend of yours, with this husband of yours, is not working anymore. It's not a peaceful atmosphere. You see, the man who was coming home 17 hours, now he comes home 18 hours. 18 hours reduces to 19 hours. 19 hours to, and there are reasons that are given. No, I was given a new office, and so the assignments have changed. They require me to do A, B, C, D. Not that they are doing anything wrong, but they are just trying to buy time so that at least the time together will be a little bit short. The moment you start seeing such things in your relationship, please, 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 cry for help. Kimanyando, kibutata, mapenzi Angela. Resentment stage is real. The moment you feel like when you are in the presence of a friend, you feel you don't feel comfortable. You feel like the moment you feel comfortable in other people's presence. Did you hear what I said? Elder. The moment you feel that in her presence there is less comfort, but in the presence of other ladies, you feel so secure and some happiness. That is a danger sign. Hello? Yeah. The moment you feel like she or he doesn't need to be close to me anymore. Maybe in the presence of your parents, it's more comfortable in the presence of your parents or your relatives or what. That is a danger sign. And you need to say, this stage. Because from the resentment stage, then you go to what? Huh? You go to what? Yes, you go to what we call rebellion stage, which is what? Separation. You go to a point where no one now can deal with you. You say, whatever happens, church, you can do what you want. I'm tired and sick. So, any question, any comment before we... I just wanted to pass through that. I want to deal with the family in the next few minutes, I guess. Oh, okay. I want to deal with the family. I just passed through that road, but that's not where we are supposed to be. Any comment on what we have said so far? We want to look at the first family and how we fit in as families. What I want to say next is that even with all that I have said, there is no family, there is no relationship that is 100% peaceful. Okay? So if there are issues in your family, that doesn't mean your choices were wrong. No. 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 No one is making a comment. Can I continue? Yes, Mama? Now, as she comes in, I just want to say that remember the first family. What was the first family? Adam and who? Eve. Maybe let me make these running comments before she makes a comment. No family on earth ever enjoyed or will ever enjoy greater and better privileges than the first family did. Did you hear that? We can have families, but no family can enjoy better privileges than the first family. And we are talking about Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve were literally made for each other, no struggles of mate selection. Did you hear what the pastor was saying? I don't know who said that. That the only person who had no rib was who? Adam. There was no spouse selection. There was nothing like, oh, who do I choose among all these? No, there was only one lady. And that choice was already made by God. Okay? God literally officiated their first wedding ceremony in Eden. They started their life in a blissful and peaceful environment. No sin, no pain, no sickness, no bills to clear. They had a backyard full of food. And plenty of food. Their world was the Garden of Eden, and God was their provider. They communed directly with God and one another on a daily basis. There were no other strangers around. Their main occupation was agriculture. Before a wife, there was a job. But that first family ended up breaking. But it was mended. Okay. Can we get a comment, then I will continue with that thought.
Pastor, I've come across with our young children, especially males. They've been actually complaining that they are not finding young ladies to marry in our church. So they would rather go out there looking for them, then they bring them to be converted in our church. So as parents, we are getting concerned. They look around, they are not there. Secondly, parents, we see when young ones are courting, they are in love. They are passing, and then these young men, or whoever is getting married,
They even carry the ladies' bags. You know, holding hands so close, and you even see that it's very nice for them. After they get married, a young man can't even carry a bag for the lady. You know that relationship, good relationship, it fades. So it's quite worrying. What advice can, as a pastor, encourage these young men to continue from the time they started courting until they die?
Thank you. First of all, they can't find their, they can't find a choice in the what? In the church. The Philistines are beautiful. And let me say, please let's tell our young people that the Philistines are always beautiful. Huh? Hello? And that was the problem of Samson. Huh? That was the problem of what? Samson. He tried to look around, and you find it, I think it's in Judges chapter 14, where he tells his parents, Daddy, Mommy, I have seen a beautiful girl among the Philistines. The parents said, do you mean you couldn't find one around? Said, no, but that one pleases me well. I don't know what he meant. Okay? Now, what I normally say is, I think let our young people know that before you find a good partner, be a good partner yourself. Now, first of all, God will not give you a good partner if you are not a good partner. Secondly, I think if you are a Christian, it beats my senses to say that there are no good people in the church. Then I'm asking, what are you looking for? Huh? Hello? Because I think if they are not there in Unza Church, they should be there in Central Church. Huh? If they are not there in Central Church, they should be there in Garden. Now, for you to tell me that they are nowhere around, even in Malawi, they are not there. Then I'm asking, what are you looking for? Maybe your understanding of what you are looking for is wrong. Okay? But first and foremost, if you are a good Christian, you will be attracted to a good Christian. Hello? Yes. Because, you know, when you get married, there are these things that you say, oh, I'm looking for a blonde woman. I'm looking for a slim woman. But if you have understanding of what you are looking for, I think some of those things will die out. Huh? Because you know, beauty can be there today, may not be there tomorrow. Huh? But the most important qualification is what will be paramount in this relationship. Now, if people are beautiful of face, but in the heart they are beasts, do you think you are going to enjoy that relationship? You wake up, the beauty is there, but the heart is not there. And I think, Mama, let's help our young people to look for the real thing. Okay? What is it that they are looking for? Ask them, when they are saying they are not there in church, sit them down and ask them, what are you looking for? Okay? Because I'm surely convinced that Unza Church is full of them. Beautiful ones. If you are looking for beauty, you'll find the beautiful ones. And I'm not very sure, and I don't agree with the people who say, even if the church is so wicked and what, I don't agree with the people who say, all these ladies you see here are wicked. Or all these boys you see here are wicked. I don't agree to that. I don't agree to that. Because even among 10 people, you still find one who is good. But just be good yourself. The problem is, you find men, they will be looking for, they will tell you, me, I'm looking for a virgin. Okay? When the character is not a virgin himself. He has 4 or 5 children outside, and he's looking for what? For virgin. I mean, you are not yourself. But because these our ladies have a problem, if they made a mistake somewhere, it will be seen. A sign will tell that they crossed the line. But that does not make you, who has no sign to be, any better. So, yeah. So what is it that you are looking for? I think let our young men know, and I think as parents, let's tell them the truth. It is not fair. Because if they get in such a relationship, when they had all these experiences that they have hidden, and they are going to look for a virgin, they are not going to be a match. Huh? Because if they are going to be a match physically, psychologically, they will not be. If they are going to be a match psychologically, socially, they will not be. Because there will be a point when that old relationship you had, the product of that relationship will have to be brought to this home. And that will be a source of what? Conflict. Okay? So I really don't agree to that. And again, the issue of carrying bags and hugging around and all that. Now, Ellen White tells us this, and let me read this quotation. Ellen White states in the book Adventist Home, page 79, he says, early marriages is not to be encouraged. Are you here? Early marriages is not to be encouraged. A relationship so important and so far-reaching in its results should not be entered upon hastily without sufficient preparations and before the mental and physical powers are well developed. Boys and girls enter upon the marriage relationship with unripe love, immature judgment, without noble elevating feelings, and take upon themselves the marriage vows wholly led by their boyish and girlish passions. You know, people think by just hand in hand walking with a girl or a man, then that is love. Is that love? Now, I just told you that there's romance, but romance doesn't live long. Reality will do what? Will come. What are you going to do in reality? Okay? That's where now, the bag you are carrying now, you don't want to carry it. Huh? Okay. Let me give, please just forgive me. Let me give you a practical example. Huh? Let me give you a practical example. When I married my wife, are you giving me permission? When I married my wife, she was a very tiny lady. She was a very tiny lady. Tiny. Now, you can congratulate me for a good job. But you see, if my decision to marry her was because I wanted a tiny what? Lady. Do you think I would still walk with her today? No. And that is the reality of life. These beautiful ladies you see, they have potential to change. Huh? Huh? And if you just say, okay, You are walking and you are proud even to, Portable and yeah. At Portable. As the days roll on, you see what? Changes. That's why I say love. I don't know how you define love. I'm yet to find one who defines love. Who? Oh. Now, listen, friend. Love is not an event. Are you with me? Love is not what? To me, love is a principle. Listen. Love is a what? A principle. Now, what do I mean? What I mean is, principles don't change. Okay? If love is an event or something that you do that is an emotion, it's bound to fail. But love is a principle where you get to decide, this one is my husband, this one is my wife. No matter what happens, he will still remain mine. Okay? Whether they get so fat, you still love them. Whether they become so tiny, you still. Whether they get an accident on the way, they lose an eye, they lose a foot, they lose a hand, whatever happens, a principle doesn't change. You will still continue and say, this is my love. Now, if you are not ready for that, then you are not ready for marriage. Huh? Even the long hair. Yeah. Someone is touching the head. We are all potential. All right. So that's what I would say, that I think let our young people, that's why Ellen White said, young people should not rush into these things because they don't know yet what it is all about. The Seraphs, do you have a song? Huh? Okay. As you come, there are mistakes that happen in the family. In the family, you see, sin is a very serious intruder that intruded in the family of Adam and Eve, and today, at the families, there are things that we need to take care of. If we are going to preserve these families, I guess I have not called you at the wrong time. You told me you are always ready, isn't it? Okay. Okay. So because of all these challenges that we have said, there are things that we need to take care of. There are other things that happen in families that can destroy our family that we have no control of. Okay? While they are still preparing, I'll just mention some of them. Number one, issues that are so serious that destroyed even the first family. Number one is what we call spouse separation. I'm waiting for you. When you are ready, may I know? Okay, spouse what? Separation. Number two is the distrust. Spouse distrust or mistrust. Number three, self-justification. Self-justification. And number four, the problem of appetite. Number four, the problem of appetite. These are the things that brought a lot of consequences, and we'll look at them in brief and see how we can protect ourselves as families while they give us a song.
So as they're sorting out the mic, since we're talking about family life and love, we'll share a song called Ochikondi. It's in Chichewa, which is talking about the love of God that never fails. Chikondi cha Mulungu chimene chinampangisa kuti atifere ifeyo, so that we, the sinners, can be saved. So the song is called Ochikondi.
One, two.
One, two.
Ochikondi cha Mulungu kundifera ine, kuti wochimangatine apeze chisomo.